Lena became an orphan at 8 years old. Her father had left before she was born. No name, no photos, no letters. Whenever she asked, her mother would go quiet, her eyes unfocusing as if she were listening to something far away. Then she would change the subject. Always. So Lena grew up believing her father was either dead or worse, someone her mother was afraid of. The night her mother died, Lena had been asleep in the living room, curled under a thin blanket, the TV still murmuring static. She remembered waking to the smell first. Something sharp, bitter, like burned metal. Then the sirens, then strangers in uniform lifting her into arms that didn't feel real. Her mother was found dead in her bedroom. The door had been locked from the inside. No windows were open, no signs of forced entry. The police called it an accident, a sudden medical emergency, a tragic, impossible coincidence. But Lena remembered the screaming. They told her she didn't. The orphanage became her world after that. Grey walls, iron beds, long hallways that always smelled faintly of bleach and dust. She spent her childhood watching other kids get chosen, mothers, fathers, smiling couples kneeling in front of hopeful faces. No one ever chose her. At night, she used to whisper into the dark, "Maybe my dad will find me." She imagined him tall, kind, apologetic. She imagined him opening the doors one day and saying her name like it mattered. He never came. Flashbacks began when she was 12. They came without warning. Her mother's bedroom door, the sound of something heavy scraping, a shadow passing under the doorframe, her mother's voice, low, frightened, pleading, then nothing. Doctors said it was trauma, the mind inventing details to fill gaps. But Lena knew the difference between imagination and memory. She aged out of the orphanage at 18, with a single duffel bag and a paper envelope containing her birth certificate and a small inheritance check that barely covered 3 months' rent. She rented a tiny room and got a job almost immediately. The cyber cafe sat 2 blocks from her old high school. Neon sign flickering, windows always glowing blue from monitor light. She'd passed it 100 times growing up. The owner barely looked at her resume. The pay was low, but he smiled too long. "You're hired," he said. "Start tonight." The cafe stayed busy until late. Gamers, college kids, lonely men. The hum of computers never fully stopped, even when the room was empty. Screens glowing, machines breathing. Lena liked the noise. Silence made room for memories. Her shift ended at midnight. The owner usually left around 11:30, trusting her to close. It was nearly midnight when it happened. Pushed in, lights dimmed. Lena stood behind the counter counting the drawer when she heard the familiar sound of a computer alert, a single ping. She froze. All the computers were supposed to be off. Another sound followed, the slow clicking of keys. She leaned over the counter. Computer number 9, far corner, closest to the back wall, was on. The screen glowed a dull blue. Someone was typing. She took a slow step forward. "Hello?" she called. No answer. The screen refreshed. A message appeared. "Do you want to know how she really died?" Lena's mouth went dry. Her fingers trembled on the mouse. She told herself it was a prank. Some kid who forgot to log out. Some delayed system process. Still, her hand shook as she clicked. The screen went black. Then a video window opened. Grainy. Time stamped. Her breath left her lungs in a broken sound. She knew that room. Yellow wallpaper. Cracked mirror. The crooked dresser her mother kept pushing back against the wall. Her mother's bedroom. The camera angle was high, tucked into a corner near the ceiling. Her mother sat on the bed, hands folded tightly in her lap. Alive. Breathing. Crying. "I didn't tell her," her mother whispered. "I swear I won't." A man stepped into view. His face was blurred by shadow. But his voice. Lena's knees buckled. She knew that voice, low, calm, familiar in a way that made her stomach twist. You were never good at keeping promises, the man said. I was scared, her mother sobbed. You said you were gone. I came back. The man closed the bedroom door. The camera continued to record. Lena watched her mother stand, plead, try to run. She watched the man grab her by the hair, drag her toward the bed. The video had no sound after that, just motion, her mother's arms flailing, the man's shadow rising and falling, the camera shaking slightly, as if mounted poorly. Then stillness. Her mother lay unmoving. The man paced, methodical. He wiped surfaces. He put on gloves. He cleaned. Then he went to the door. He paused, looked directly up at the camera, and smiled. Lena screamed. The screen went black. A loading icon spun. Then words appeared. Some doors! Only lock from the outside. The computer shut itself off. The hum died. Silence slammed into the room. Lena stood shaking in the blue afterimage burned into her eyes. The video was gone. No files, no history, no evidence. She called the police. They searched the cafe. They questioned the owner. They took her statement. There was nothing. No video, no tampering, no record of any device accessing the system. They suggested stress, trauma, hallucinations. That night, Lena dreamed of a door, locked, someone knocking from the inside. She woke with the sound still echoing in her room. The flashbacks got worse. She remembered hiding behind the couch. She remembered footsteps. She remembered her mother screaming her name. She returned to the cafe the next night. Computer 9 was already on. The screen displayed a single sentence. You're being watched! Her chest tightened. Another video opened. This one was different. Lower angle, closer. The living room, her living room. 8-year-old Lena sat on the floor clutching a stuffed rabbit, eyes wide. The front door opened. A man stepped in. He knelt in front of her, brushed hair from her eyes. Go to sleep, he said gently. She stood so fast her chair toppled behind her. The cafe lights flickered. A new message typed itself. You were my favorite part. She staggered backward, colliding with a table. Another video loaded. The orphanage hallway. A hidden camera. The man stood speaking to a worker, signing papers, glancing once at the camera, smiling. The final video appeared without her clicking. A modern one. The cyber cafe. Recorded from behind her. She was standing at the counter, watching the screen. In real time. Lena spun. The cafe was empty. The screen typed its last message. I never stopped watching. Her phone rang. Unknown number. She answered with shaking hands. Hello. Breathing. Slow. Pleased. Then his voice. Hi, Lena. Her blood turned to ice. I was wondering when you'd remember me. Who are you? She whispered, though every nerve already knew. A soft laugh. Your father. The cafe door clicked, unlocked, behind her. She did not turn around. The phone pressed hot against her ear. I left you something, he said. A long time ago. In the room with the door that wouldn't open. Her mother's voice whispered inside Lena's skull. Run. The lights went out. The line went dead. When the police arrived an hour later, the cyber cafe was empty. No Lena, no owner, just one computer left on, and a locked video file titled Family. Lena woke up screaming. She was lying on the floor of her small apartment, not the cyber cafe. Morning light leaked through the blinds. Her phone lay beside her, cracked but working. For a long moment, she convinced herself the cafe had been a nightmare. Then she saw the message written in dust on her wall. It is not your father. Her throat closed. The air in the room grew heavy, cold, and someone spoke behind her. "Lena!" She turned. Her mother stood near the bedroom door. "Not solid, not alive, but unmistakably real." Vera looked the way Lena remembered, her tired eyes, the small scar above her eyebrow. Light passed faintly through her body, and the temperature dropped wherever she stepped. Lena couldn't breathe. "Mom, I don't have much time," Vera said softly. "But you need the truth." Tears streamed down Lena's face. "I saw the video. I saw him kill you. He said he was my father." Vera shook her head. "Mark never hurt me." The room seemed to pull away as memories formed around them. Vera standing in a kitchen, younger, laughing. A man holding Vera, and they danced. "Mark! He was an assassin," Vera said. "A man paid to kill. Before you were born, he promised me he would leave that life. He took one last assignment and disappeared." The memory changed. Vera alone. A knock at the door. A stranger with kind eyes and a neat coat. "John! He told me Mark had abandoned us," Vera whispered, "that he didn't want a family, that he was dangerous." Another shift. John inside her bedroom, the door closing, the lock turning. "He killed me," Vera said, and staged the room to make it look impossible, so no one would look for him. Lena shook. "But why show me now?" "Because he's active again," Vera replied. "And because he never stopped watching you." The lights flickered. Vera lifted her hand. Lena's phone turned on by itself. A video folder opened. Inside were dozens of files. Hidden recordings, the orphanage, Lena's schools, the cyber café, her own bedroom. "He's been using you," Vera said, waiting, hoping Mark would come back for you. A new video opened. A warehouse, armed guards, a man in chains, older, scarred, alive. "Mark!" "He didn't leave," Vera said. "He was captured overseas during an assignment. He's been in a prison for years. He's going to be released soon." Lena covered her mouth. "But I can't prove any of this," she whispered. Vera's eyes softened. "Yes, you can." The room darkened. The bedroom door creaked open. Lena's mother's old room looked untouched. Vera drifted inside. She knelt where her bed once stood and pressed her hand to the floor. The wood warped, then cracked. A hollow sound echoed. "There!" Vera said. Lena pried the board loose. Inside was a metal box, dust, sealed, heavy. Inside were flash drives, documents, photographs, contracts, and a phone. "He hid them under my body," Vera said, "because he believed no one would ever look where I died." That night, Lena took everything to the police. At first, they doubted her. Then they opened the files. Encrypted recordings of John paying killers, messages ordering murders, blackmail, video of Vera's death, and one final folder labeled Mark. The evidence went federal. John was arrested 3 days later, pulled from a hotel room, screaming that it wasn't over. International authorities moved on the prison. Mark was found alive. Barely. When Lena finally saw her father, he was thinner than in the video. His hair was grey. His hands shook when he touched her face. The night after his release, Lena returned back to the old home alone. She stood at the old bedroom doorway. "Mom?" she said. The air grew cold. Vera appeared beside the window. Her smile was peaceful now. "It's finished," Lena said. Vera nodded. John had been exposed. Mark was free. The truth was no longer buried in a locked room. Vera stepped closer and touched Lena's forehead. "I didn't leave you," she said. "I waited." Her form began to fade. "Mom, I love you." The room warmed. The air stilled. Vera was gone. On the wall where the dust message had been, only one word remained: free. Thank you for staying until the end of this story. If it haunted you, moved you, or lingered in your thoughts longer than you expected, then this story has found its place. If you enjoyed this story and want to hear more supernatural narratives like it, please consider subscribing to the channel. Don't forget to give a thumbs up. New stories will continue to unfold here, where restless spirits and unfinished lives still linger. Until next time, listen closely. The past has a way of whispering back,